So, welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Tri-F podcast, where we try not to mess the podcast up. Now, so it's been a very, very wild week. We're going to talk about two different things tonight. We're going to talk about, because originally we had this interview scheduled, and then what happened with Charlie Kirk happened. And so we're going to discuss Charlie Kirk kind of during the interview. While we're having this interview, it's kind of, things just kind of timed out that way. So we want to thank you guys for joining us. We're going to start off with the interview, and Trevor is the one who's been spearheading that. So Trevor, how about you tell us what's going on tonight, man?
All right, so we got an interview with Mr. Buzz. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. And we are excited to have you. We're just going to jump right into it. And so I was just going to ask you about your background, and you can just start wherever and talk about whatever you want.
I'm actually from Nova Scotia, Canada, and moved here to Ontario about, I think, 18 years ago to open up a music school. And I did, and then I got divorced and lost the school and everything, and ended up in isolation for 10 years, basically, as the Lord generally does with his anointed people. And I spent almost 10 years in this house completely alone with God.
Wow. That's amazing. What did you teach at your school?
I teach guitar, but at our school we taught everything. I had an opera singer teaching. I had several drummers. I had a mandolin teacher, piano teachers. We had everything.
Wow.
So what did those, sorry, Trevor,
go ahead.
What did that 10 years of isolation teach you? If you could take the most important thing, what do you think you learned during that time?
That you can do absolutely nothing in this world without the Lord.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, that's the main lesson I got from it. Submission to the Lord is the only way to go. Trying to do things on your own is a waste of time and will result in everything crashing and burning on you, pretty much.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
It does. So on your channel, you talk a little bit about you were into witchcraft for a little bit.
I was. I'm really not very proud of my past, but I was a shaman, actually.
What does a shaman do?
Think of a medicine man, like in a Peruvian Aboriginal tribe sort of thing. They have a medicine man that he's the kind of like the doctor and the man of God for the tribe.
Did you wear all the cool stuff and have a witchcraft a staff that they usually carry?
I actually wielded a rain stick, if you know what that is. It's actually a musical instrument.
Oh yeah,
It's
got all
actually
the
a
beads
long,
inside of it.
Yep, it's a long cactus that they push the spines inside.
Wow.
It was used for magical purposes. You tip it up, and as the spines fall from one end to the other, it sounds like rain.
Right.
And they used it to make it rain when they had droughts.
Did you ever try that? Did it work?
I never actually tried to make it rain, but during my ceremonies, it was my instrument of choice because a shaman always plays a musical instrument, or several musical instruments, actually. So that was my instrument of choice.
Okay.
And I did a lot of ayahuasca and things that I'm really not proud of that I should not have done.
What's ayahuasca? What is that?
Ayahuasca is a psychedelic brew that is made with two substances. You need what's called an MAOI, or an monoamine oxidase inhibitor. I can't believe I remember how to say that. And DMT, which is dimethyltryptamine.
Right.
Wow.
And dimethyltryptamine is not orally active on its own, so you need the MAOI to make it orally active. So you drink this brew in a ceremony with a shaman, and it basically cracks open the spirit realm and you create a spiritual mess for yourself that is very detrimental to your spiritual health.
I'll bet.
It
I'll
really
bet.
is. It's a
Can
big
you?
mistake.
I'm sorry. Can you explain what way is it detrimental to your spiritual health? Can you, like, what
You
happens?
open you open up portals and entities come in and attach themselves to you.
Okay.
Spiritual parasites. Plus, you block the Lord. A lot of shamans actually think they're communing with the Lord during these ceremonies, but they're not.
Really?
Totally
Really,
not.
it's demons, isn't it?
Yeah, it's evil entities from other places, and it took me several years to get things right again, to find my way back to God and clear up the spiritual mess that I'd created by doing things like that. And then I get into actual sorcery, and I used to cast sigils, which are abstract pictorial representations of an intention.
Okay.
And then they have to be um, put into the subconscious mind. And it's a process I'm not going to explain because people are liable to try it. And I don't want anybody to.
Right.
Sure.
I'm really not
Sure.
trying to
Yeah.
glorify this stuff at all. I'm trying to say it's a very bad idea.
Yeah. It is a
But I
bad
get into
idea.
doing that. And everybody who's into sorcery knows sorcery is a boomerang. You send it out and it comes back. And when it hits you, it will destroy you. And it almost killed me. Literally almost killed
Wow.
me.
Really? What happened?
Made me sick. It destroyed my marriage, made me lose my business, took away my friends, took away all my students. You name it. It destroyed me completely. Sent me heavy into addiction. I get into bad drugs. Everything you can imagine, it did.
Hmm.
That's a lot. So,
Yeah.
how did you get from doing all that to being a Christian,
Years of
led to the
isolation.
Lord?
Years of isolation in this house. I figured out after I was here alone for about 3 or 4 years, I started having spiritual experiences where the Lord was communicating with me and inviting me back into his life.
So,
And
is there a particular like time when He spoke to you, or
yeah,
bring you back?
it was about 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, something like that.
And
And
what is that like? Does did he just talk to you, or did he?
no, in dreams, the really interesting thing is that he uses YouTube to talk to everybody.
Yeah,
He literally does. I
I
mean,
get that sometimes.
I can sit here and say a prayer, and then I'll even say in the prayer, I'm going to look in my feed right after this prayer, Father, and whatever you want to say to me, just say to me that way, and I'll hit the YouTube icon, and the next thing, the first video that comes up answers my question.
Yeah,
Quite
done that
amazing.
before.
Yep.
Yeah, I've asked him questions, and he'll play the next video automatic. You know, it plays auto,
Hmm.
and it'll play a video that answers my question.
Yep. See, I see it every day, and now my videos, now that I have my channel, the same thing is happening to other people. They're like, I said a prayer, I asked a question, and there you were with the answer. Like, wow. I was always on the other end of that, but now I guess I'm on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I noticed that your subscribers jumped up in the last week.
That's
Was
also
that
the
from the
Lord.
Lord? Yeah.
That is also the Lord. He promised me blessings if I started to be obedient, cured my addictions. I quit drinking, I quit drugs. The last thing I have to quit is cigarettes, and that's happened today actually.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm now clean of everything, and um, things are going really well. Um, I did get cockroached a couple times yesterday and once today.
Mm.
What's the cockroaching thing?
Well, people might find this interesting. This is another way that the Lord will communicate with us.
Mm.
Oh, somebody else is coming in there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
There's
Mr.
Cody.
Cody. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey, Cody, this is
Well-
Jeff. We're doing an interview with him.
Hey, Jeff, how are you, buddy?
Not bad, Cody. How you doing, bud?
You got a little
Doing
bit of a
well.
lag.
Doing
All right.
well. A little
Yeah,
tired,
you got
but
a little
I'm
lag.
all right.
We're glad to have you with us, man.
Okay.
We'll get.
Well,
I'm
it
sure it'll
almost
speed
did.
up a little bit.
Let me know if it's too bad if I need to jump off. Okay.
We'll give it a couple minutes and we'll see what happens. It should pick up and be fine though. I pay enough money for internet; it ought to be fine. But anyhow, so all right. Well, Mr. Buzz, I'd like to ask you a question myself. I'm a little curious because we've all kind of discussed our own spiritual things on this show a little bit, and I've commented. For me, it took me a very long time to even admit what I was going through was like demonic or anything spiritual. I was very big into like just hoping it was sleep paralysis and I was crazy. Was there a particular moment for you where you were finally like, okay, this is like, what was the thing that happened that made you finally go, okay, this is demonic, this ain't in my head? Like, what convinced you that you had a problem?
Well, I've always known about the spirit realm all my life, like since I was a child. So I can't really even remember the first time I experienced something demonic, but like I said, I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a demon in the woods one time. I think I was about 10, and I was always very familiar with it. But somehow when I get older and when I get into shamanism and sorcery, I just sort of went brain dead for a while. I'm not really sure what made me do that because I was a believer in the Lord and everything. I believed in Jesus and the whole bit.
Mm-hmm.
Something made me go down that wrong path. I'm not sure what. But then here in the early days when I moved into this house, I was on hard drugs. I was on methamphetamine.
Mm.
That's a conduit for demonic activity, a big conduit for it.
Yeah.
Can you explain how or why it's that way?
Well, it's pharmakia. So
Okay.
pharmakia is sorcery through drugs. Okay, so it it its origins are in the pits of hell, literally. It is the devil himself who gave this to humanity.
Okay.
And when people are on meth, it literally opens portals, just like I said the ayahuasca does. It's the same thing. And here's the thing about it. When you're right with the Lord and everything is good, you are covered with the blood of Jesus and nothing can touch you. So when demonic activity starts, that means the Lord has pulled back his protection just enough to wake you up. So he'll let the demons in, maul you in bed or scare you in the middle of the night or give you horrifying nightmares or whatever's happening. That's an indication that the Lord is not protecting you fully. And because I had shamanic training, that was something I actually learned in shamanic training. When it started here, I got mauled by demons in my bed several times. And I mean literally mauled, scratched,
Really?
terrified. Oh, it's the worst thing ever. It's horrible. I can't even explain it.
So
It actually happened to me the other night. The Lord was trying to wake me up about something, and he got my attention really quick.
Wow.
I literally had black demons, excuse me, black demons flying around my room. I woke up and out of the corner of my eye, I saw one just flying around in circles, and then a second one. And then I got the chills going right through my body.
Yeah.
And I went, oh no, here we go. Because it happened to me years before. So I came downstairs and I prayed and put on YouTube. And like I say, the very first video was a guy named Chad Wright from 3 of 7 Project.
Mm-hmm.
Reading scripture and explaining that when the Lord is disciplining you, he will send, or not really send, but allow a messenger of Satan to come and terrify you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and like I say, it was the first video that came up. The first one that comes up is always the one that answers whatever question I have. So I prayed really, really hard. It was there's several things I was doing that was causing it, and I rectified them. And last night I slept like a baby, so everything is fixed now.
Oh, good, good.
Well, it's kind of like a Job thing almost.
Kind of like a joke.
Job.
Job
Oh, so
from the
sorry. Sir.
Bible.
Yes, yes, definitely no joke, but yes, very much like Job. Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Wow. We got a commenter here. It says, what are your thoughts on marijuana? Matthias asks.
Any mind-altering substances will separate you from the Lord, plain and simple.
Wow.
Facts.
Well, I can't say nothing because I got cigars. So
Yeah, and I got a
Cigars
vape,
usually
vape
aren't.
pen.
They're not supposed to be inhaled, though, right? You're supposed to just enjoy the flavor of the smoke, and then,
yeah,
right? So if you do that, I don't think there's any problem. But when you start inhaling things into your body, that's where you start having problems.
well, if I inhaled cigars, I'd have been dead about 5 years ago. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they're pretty rough.
So well,
And
that's
even
Can you
this,
guys hear me okay?
this
yeah,
is
you're
mountain.
good.
This is mountain don't, but
Mountain don't.
sugar is another thing. Sugar's another thing that's really bad for that. Chocolate bars will separate you from God.
What about coffee?
Because of the
Coffee will definitely
Coffee
separate you.
too.
so you're saying basically mental stimulants and that kind of thing, things that alter your state of mind will separate you from God. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
That's totally what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. God made you a specific way. Anytime you alter that way that he made you, you're going kind of against his will.
So I was still smoking as of, like up until today. Today's the quitting day. So I was on the porch the other night and I was praying and I said, Lord, I want to be as close to you as I possibly can. And 3 words he gave me right on my heart: clean the temple.
Mhm.
And the temple
Paul.
being your body, of course, right?
Yeah.
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 Right.
So that
Paul
was the
still
temple.
asks,
Clean
what
the
about
temple.
caffeine?
Caffeine's another thing I actually have to give up totally. I only drink one or 2 cups in the morning, but time to get rid of that too and get some decaf for sure.
All right. Interesting. Well, Trevor, you said you had some questions about the anointing or the anointed ones. You want to get into that?
Yeah, on your channel, you talk a lot about anointed ones.
Mhm.
What exactly is an anointed one?
An anointed one is just a regular human who the Lord has a special purpose for down here. And because he has a special purpose for that person, he will give them, this is going to sound funny to a lot of people, but he will give them a very rough childhood, teenage years, and young adulthood to whip them into shape for whatever is going to come. Okay, so anointed people will go through addiction. They will go through usually some abuse when they're kids. They'll get beaten by their parents. Um, they'll go through everything you can imagine. Some of them end up homeless, like really a really rough life. And every anointed person I've ever met has gone through that. But because they're anointed and the Lord is planning to use them later, he will protect them, save their lives over and over. My life's been saved, I think, 8 times. And I mean literally saved in supernatural ways. He's also saved me from overdoses, and he saved me like 8 times.
Wow.
Well, then this anointed person will end up in isolation, as I said I did. And during that 5, 10, 15-year period of isolation, however long it is, it's different for every person. The Lord does what we call collaging you,
Mm.
getting you ready for your purpose. And then as you become ready for your purpose, it's kind of like a death and rebirth. He kills the old you and rebuilds you into a new person.
Okay.
Then he will use you in a certain way to do his work, and he will bless you like you can't even imagine. And your reward comes later in life. Your first part of your life as an anointed person, not fun. The rest of your life is better than you can imagine. That's usually how it goes.
So has he told you what your purpose is?
I'm doing it right now.
Doing it right now?
My channel and the ministry, right? And I'm a musician, so he's going to use me to sing songs to glorify his name.
Amen.
Amen.
So I've heard other people talk about the chosen ones. Is that the same thing?
Same thing. Yep. Yeah, I
So-
don't like the word chosen ones because, it sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like you think you're special or something, right? There's no difference in an
Right.
anointed person and a regular person. Everybody's equal. It's just that the Lord has special. We're soldiers, right? We're here to fight in the holy war, and that's what's going on right now. Is the biggest spiritual battle of all time, which is why, as you mentioned, Charlie Kirk. That's why he was murdered, right?
Yeah.
This is part of the spiritual war.
Yeah, it is. We're all in a spiritual war.
Absolutely.
So some would argue with the chosen ones and the anointed ones. Some would say that that's just anyone who wants to follow Jesus. Is that
Well, no, I don't. I mean, I think he can anoint you, even if you're not anointed to begin with. If he sees you being worthy of that all of a sudden, I believe he can anoint anybody he wants, right?
okay?
Mhm.
So, yeah, even if you're not an anointed person, you could probably end up one.
I like that. Heck yeah. I lost my train of thought.
That's right. I'll pick something
Sorry.
up here. No, you're good, man. You're good. So we talked a little bit about speaking of Charlie Kirk. Before the show, we talked a little bit about discussing the nature of evil, and I'd like to talk about how evil is kind of a sentient, active element in the world that's interacting with human beings and that sort of thing. What was there anything in particular during your time in witchcraft that would have demonstrated that fact or kind of brought that idea out? Did you have any sort of interactions with those kind of, I guess you'd say, malignant forces that demonstrates kind of how sentient they are?
Absolutely. So I was deceived thinking that I was this really talented magician, right? And I would do ceremonies. And the first time something really wild happened, I had an altar set up with a bunch of candles. Something told me just do this. And I suddenly put my hands above the candle flames and I raised my hands up like this. And as I did, the candle flame got higher and higher and higher, following my hand.
Hmm.
Whoa.
Wow, okay, I'm pretty powerful now, aren't I? Like I was all impressed with that. That's just demons that I'd invoked,
Right.
deceiving me, right? Making that happen, getting me all excited, thinking I'm doing something good. So then I actually did another ceremony and literally invoked a demon that lived in the house with us.
Hmm.
Wow.
That's the one that wrecked my marriage and destroyed everything. That's was part of the reason my wife left. She didn't like living with a demon in the house, which
Yeah.
can't blame, I really can't blame her for that.
Right.
Was you
And
ever able to get rid of it?
no, I think it might still be in the house.
Hmm.
They end up what Aleister Crowley used to call bricked up. He used to leave
Oh.
them bricked up in the house when he'd invoke them, and then he'd have to leave, so he'd just leave them there, and they couldn't get out. He'd trap them somehow. And
So
I
it's-
think that's how this one ended up. I wouldn't want to go in that house to this day, actually.
So it's a type of curse almost.
Absolutely. And it showed itself many times to either 8 or 9 of my friends actually saw this thing.
Were they seeing the
Wow.
same
That's a
kind of
powerful
image?
one.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I was asking, did they see the same
ahead,
kind
Gary.
of image or entity or anything
No.
like that?
It appeared as different things every time.
Okay.
There's a fairy to one person. It appeared as a ball of light to other people.
Bro.
It appeared
I've
as
seen a ball of light.
cylinder.
Have
Did you?
you?
Yeah, in the
That's pretty
barn.
common. That's a pretty common form for them to take, actually.
It was pitch black, and there was just like this blue orb, and it appeared on the wall and just like shot across the room. It was
Yep.
wild, dude.
That's exactly
That-
that's the same thing. That's what I mean. Yep.
That place was super haunted.
Uh,
Yep.
what, what,
Haunting is a real phenomenon. I mean,
Hmm.
I've experienced entities like that at least a half a dozen times. They're very,
Yeah.
very real. Unfortunately, they're very real.
Yeah.
So my opinion on this is the lower that you as a person are vibrating, or the more sin you're involved with, the more you resonate with that frequency. So
Correct.
like at this point in my life, I don't see haunting stuff.
Mhm.
I just don't see it. But like before, I used to see ghosts and stuff a lot. So do you think that's,
I
what
think
do you think about that?
if you're right with the Lord, you're going to be protected completely, and He'll put a
Right.
force field around you. But when you get out of alignment with God, like I said, that's what happened to me just a few nights ago. He wanted to get my attention, so he pulled back the protection and let some demons in. So I had them flying around my room the other night. They're
Yeah.
gone now. He just let them in to wake me up, right? You're being
Yeah.
prideful. You're lusting after the girls walking down the street every day. You're doing this, you're doing that. So, yeah,
Sure.
it's the Lord isn't the one doing it to you, but he's allowing it to happen.
When you say that, allowing it to happen, you don't think it's like it's on us?
Well, it is,
Like
but
when we,
that's why the Lord's allowing it to happen, right? He's disciplining you.
okay.
I did a video about it the other day and included the scripture that Chad Wright used in his video. It's 2 Corinthians, I forget which verse, but it's in 2 Corinthians, and it's something the Apostle Paul. I wish I could remember how to quote the verse. Something about a thorn in my flesh because the revelations were so spectacular or something. So it was about him becoming prideful because the Lord had blessed him with revelations and visions and, very
Okay.
divine things. So in order to mellow out his egotistical thing that he got going on because of it, he sent a messenger of Satan. He didn't send him, but allowed him in to torment, right? To torment Paul, to humble him.
Okay.
And that's exactly what happened to me. I got humbled, all right. If you want to see my video, it's about 2 days ago I made it, entitled "God Humbled Me," and
Wow.
that was the scripture I included into it because I
Nice.
was really humbled in a big way.
Cool.
Well, if
Did you repent?
Oh, did I ever? Did I ever? And he'll allow them to attack my animals too. I have 2 cats. So as the demons are flying around, all of a sudden my cats down here are screaming at the top of their lungs.
Really?
Yep, I know he's allowing it to happen to them too, to make me feel even worse, right? Then you got to do something quick because if you don't get right with the Lord, you can't do anything without him. I mean, including staying protected from evil, right? Evil is real.
Yeah.
You don't want anything to do with it. You want his protection. You want to be covered in the blood of Jesus at all times.
Well, if you'd like, I actually was able to find that passage if you'd like me to read it really quick.
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right, so this is 2 Corinthians 12, starting at verse 6. For even if I wish to boast, I will not be a fool, for I would be telling the truth. But I refrain from this so that no one may regard me beyond what he sees in me or what he hears from me. Even because of the extraordinary character of the revelations. Therefore, so that I would not become arrogant, a thorn in the flesh was given to me, a messenger of Satan to trouble me, so that I would not become arrogant. I asked the Lord 3 times about this, that it would depart from me, but he said to me, my grace is enough for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. So, that's
the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Explains it perfectly. I mean, if I'd read that before it happened, I would have understood what was happening right away.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't even familiar with that verse. I mean, I'd read it before, but it wasn't coming to me. But as soon as I come down here, I was like, Lord, I need to know what's going on. There's demons flying around my room. What have I done? Please just tell me. And as soon as I clicked that icon, Chad Wright, and it was called, Why Does God Allow Bad Things to Happen?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And he had the answer with that verse right there.
The commentator Paul still asks, why are young children more susceptible to seeing spirits?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
It's a very good question.
Something happens at a certain point. I think it's around 12 years old or maybe 14 years old, where that childlike wonder seems to end, right? And you become you can't, you lose your imagination and you lose your innocence, and I don't know, the world does something to you at that point. Before that, it's everything is childlike wonder, right? You're just,
Hmm. You're an observer.
yeah, I mean, you can believe in many things, and I guess the Lord allows kids to see stuff. I mean, if he didn't allow it, they wouldn't be able to.
I have an opinion. I have no scriptural basis for this, but I kind of think it has something to do with them being more empathetic. They feel deeper, and so it's possible for them to get tormented harder.
That could be.
Just an opinion. So
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did. It is definitely true. One of the people who saw the demon I invoked in my old house was actually 9 years old.
Wow.
He was doing a drum lesson with me, and she's playing the drums, and her mother had just come in to pick her up. It was at the end of the lesson, and her mother came in and was watching her play, and she was getting pretty good on the drums. So her mother was standing there smiling and just clapping for her, and all of a sudden she froze and looked above her like this and almost dropped the sticks. And I was like, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. He was the only one who saw it that day. I couldn't even see it. And I'd seen it many times. But I knew as soon when she stopped, her mouth dropped open and she just sat there staring at it. And she wouldn't tell us what it was, what was going on. Her mother's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" She didn't say a word. She just stared. I was terrified. I'm like, she sees the demon. This is not
Yeah.
good. I knew I had to get out of that house.
Wow.
So that barn I was talking about that was haunted, I lived in it for 6 years. So when my daughter was a baby, she would like be laying in the crib, right? Me and my wife would like be at the end of the crib, and she'd be looking at us, and she'd be smiling and stuff, and she would just stop and stare through us and just start crying.
Uh-huh.
Not good.
Crazy, dude.
And
So many bad experiences.
a lot of toys are designed to cause this problem.
really,
We have
Bro, you're right. Yeah.
the Boo Boo dolls are the latest one. They're evil.
Yeah.
They're just pure evil, demonic dolls. Elf on a Shelf.
Elf on a Shelf. Really?
Elf on a Shelf is completely demonic.
How so?
Even
Because you're lying to your children.
well, no, the Elf on a Shelf it's like the evil ones created it somehow to make it like a portal to allow demons to come in. Once you put that in a child's room, the demons have access. Totally.
So is there a
okay.
specific theory, or like how does that work exactly? Like the idea that a toy can be a portal. Like is there some kind of methodology or some kind of manner of thinking behind that, or how does that work exactly?
I have a couple theories. Let's take your phone for an example. Your phone has a demon in it.
Yep.
Okay.
It has a demon in it. They can put consciousness into silicone.
Are you referring to AI?
Nope. I'm
No?
referring to an actual demon.
Okay.
You can do a ritual. There was a Steve Martin movie, I think it was called All of Me, where a swami could put his consciousness into I don't know, it was like a cup or something, a metal thing. And he could put his consciousness into that, or he could put it into someone else's body and take their consciousness and put it into his body. It's done with rituals, right? There's certain
Okay.
rituals you can. So these toys, I think they're doing that myself. That's my personal opinion, but I can't prove that. But just like your demon phone has a demon in it, these toys, I believe, have a demon embedded right in them.
Wow. So it's
Okay.
kind of like a Ouija board almost.
Oh, Ouija board's the worst thing ever. That's the worst thing ever.
So
Have you ever
So
messed with
I've kind
one?
of
Oh,
sorry, go on.
Can I
Cody.
go, Gary?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
I've got an opinion about this. So like God made the sky, right? Whatever that is, doesn't matter. So I think so. If you look at a circuit board, um, the circuit board, like the nodes on it, very much resemble the stars. And I think that whenever they make electronics, they're copying and inverting what is in the sky. And I think that's what demons come through. So like to say it's an elf in the shelf or elf on the shelf, it goes against what I've always thought. But I mean, I guess there could be some kind of ritual behind that.
With the
Well,
idea,
like I say,
I'm
just
sorry.
a theory. I don't have any proof of any of that or any way to
Right.
really fully explain it. It's just from my time in shamanism, the things I learned. I know it is possible to put consciousness in silicone for sure.
Would
Okay.
the
I mean,
idea
hey, that's fair.
be behind like an idol in the home? Would it be the same kind of concept as an idol in the home?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then you get the other aspect of it is as soon as the Lord sees that in your house, again, he's going to pull back protection and he's going to allow certain things to happen to wake that person up. Refer to that
Okay.
verse again that you just read in 2 Corinthians.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
This
yeah.
is the way he wakes you up to the fact that there's something in your home he's not happy with. I found Kiss drumsticks in this house today. Okay, he was adamant with, you got to clean up your house. You got to, and I thought he meant just mop the floors and stuff, but he also meant there was something in here he didn't like. And I found an
Yeah.
old pair of drumsticks that I totally forgot were here, and with Kiss and the demon faces all over the sticks. I just picked them up. I'm like, Lord, that's what you wanted out of here, wasn't it? It was. That was it. So I found the last item I think that needed to go.
Mm.
Yeah.
wow.
Okay.
So back,
Sorry, Trevor. Go on.
back, so back to the anointed ones. Do you have like some sort of like list that you go through to
Yes.
figure out?
Yep. I made a video about this the other day. So the anointed people, if all 9 of these things are true, you are definitely anointed. And every anointed person I have met so far, all 9 of these are totally true. And the
Wow.
chances of all 9 of these being true for somebody is, unless there's something like that going on, would be pretty hard. Anyway, number 1 is the person has never fit in their whole life. They're the outcast from the very beginning. Not only are they the outcast, they're probably the black sheep of the family, and they've been used as a scapegoat by the whole family. Number 2, even when they're a child, they know they have a special purpose on this earth. They start thinking about that when they're maybe 3 to 5 years old. They know that in the future, they've been put here to do something very important. Number 3, they have a heightened intuition and are able to solve problems. They can be 5 years old and they can solve problems better than their adult parents can. And this will make everybody jealous. Everybody's envious and jealous of them all the time. Number 4, they suffer extreme addiction at some point in their lives, usually hard drugs, alcohol, gambling, whatever it is, but some sort of hardcore addiction that wraps them up for years and years. Takes them right to the bottom, too. It usually pretty much destroys them. Number 5, they have an overwhelming problem with lust. They can't control it. They won't necessarily go out and like sexually assault people or anything, but they have an extremely hard time controlling their lustful urges to the point that they can't even focus on regular things because the mind is just going like that constantly. Number 6, many people, if you're an anointed person, will hate you on sight. They don't have to talk to you. They don't have to know you. They will just hate you. And they will hate you so bad, you can tell they literally want to kill you. And it's a bunch of people. It's not just a few. It's a whole bunch of people. Number 7, you will end up in a period of isolation at some point which will last anywhere from 5 years to 20 years. Number 8, you're an anointed person. You are a witch magnet. Anybody who does sorcery and evil spells, you'll attract them. They can literally smell you and will usually actually tell you that. I've literally had witches go and they found me. Like they were 50 yards away and they followed their nose until they found me when I
That's
smell.
creepy.
They can literally smell anointed people. It's really
Wow.
weird.
Like a rat in a piece of cheese.
Yep. And number 9, if your life has been saved multiple times, and all the other things are true, you're anointed.
You said your life has been saved how many times? 8?
8.
8 times? Wow.
Most of them overdoses. One of them was, I'll tell you about the car accident. I was driving on a big highway, and a car passed coming towards us in the same lane I was in, and I had no possibility of missing it. It was a head-on collision waiting to happen. My kids were in the back. My aunt was in the passenger seat. All of us, literally, we saw we're doing 110 kilometers an hour. We all kissed our butts goodbye. We said our prayers. It was over. We went through the car, guys. We literally went through the car, and I'm still driving, and we all thought we were dead. No one even spoke. 30 seconds, and then finally, my aunt goes, "Are we dead?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't think so." And I'm touching myself, and I'm touching the dash, and I'm like, looked in the mirror. The other car was fine too. We went through the car. We had
Wow.
about
It's crazy.
as much room, and we just went right through it. The Lord just made that happen. I couldn't die that day, I guess, so he saved me. That's the craziest
Wow.
one. That's the most intense.
That is intense.
Are you Canadian?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was
He's
like
from
110
Ontario.
kilometers. What?
He's from
Canadian.
Ontario.
There's a video I talked
Nice.
about in one of my videos the other day. It was called Banned from TV. It was like back in the early 2000s I saw this. This guy had a head-on collision with something, okay? Totally head-on collision at that speed. I'm talking like 100 and some kilometers an hour. His car just flattened. There was nothing left to the car. The windshield smashed out of it. Somehow he squeezed out the windshield, landed on his feet in front of his car, which was now a squished sandwich. And he just stood there and he turned around and looked at his squished car and went, "Whoa."
Huh. Wow.
Not a scratch on him.
Wow.
The Lord squeezed him out the window and he landed on his feet. He didn't even land on his back or anything, right on his feet. That's
amazing.
that's
Pretty
an anointed
wild.
person. That's an anointed person. Most definitely.
Right.
So
So
oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Trev. You're good.
I've seen you talk about on a lot of your videos. You say that anointed people have the hand thing. It's like an M.
Yep.
Can you show us what that looks like?
And I don't know if you can see that or not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it has to be on both.
So
So
why
this-
does it have to be on both?
So this is not a biblical thing, okay? So this is where a lot of people get upset with me. But there was a prophetess named Baba Vanga. She was a Bulgarian lady.
Heard of her.
I don't know if you want to look her up here. You'll
Oh,
get some information there
yes.
really easy.
what was her name?
Baba Vanga. So B-A-B-A,
Okay.
V-A-N-G-A.
All right. Yeah. Give me a minute.
Bubba
She worked
Lunga.
for Cher, right?
Oh, I didn't
I
know
think
that.
she was Cher's like sorcerer or sorceress, whatever.
She was a sorceress? Because I've never heard
Or
that.
like she tells the future or what. I don't know what to
She
call
was
it.
a prophetess, yeah.
Okay.
Prophet.
Yeah, she was a prophet. So
Yeah,
Not
I think
Brand
she
the
was
Big
really
Style.
close to Cher.
she predicted a whole bunch of natural disasters. And I mean, she proved her worthiness as a prophetess, right? She was correct about a whole bunch of stuff. So she's the one that told the world that these W's, they're not M's, they're actually W's, mean you are one of God's anointed people. So that's where that came from. So since I've been doing this, anointed people come to me, I use this list mostly, but there's even more things. There's like 12 or 15 different things I can ask them. That guarantees me that they're anointed. And then I check their hands, and every single one has the W's.
So people can get on your channel and email you and stuff, and
Yep.
you'll set up an appointment with them. And
Well, I was trying to until there's now 500 emails and I don't know how many texts.
your channel
They-
blew up in the
they
last week,
literally-
hadn't it?
My texting app literally got shut down because I exceeded the terms of service or whatever.
Wow.
So
Hmm.
it's not even working at the moment. So
I was
You're,
wrong about the Baba Vanga thing. That was somebody else.
oh, okay.
All right,
Yeah,
well-
there's nothing evil about this woman. She's a little old Bulgarian woman, very close to the Lord, and made a lot of predictions, a lot of prophecies, which were all correct.
Okay.
They were all
Well, I've got
Okay.
a brief Wikipedia thing. Of course, it is Wikipedia, but this is short notice. So the synopsis of her is a grandmother, or her name was kind of commonly known as Baba Vanga or Grandmother Vanga, was a Bulgarian attributed mystic and healer who claimed to have foreseen the future. Blind since her teenhood, she spent most of her life in the Rupatite area in Basilica Mountains in Bulgaria. During the Cold War, she became widely known in parts of Eastern Europe for her alleged abilities of clairvoyance and precognition. After the fall of communism, including after her death in 1996, her persona has remained popular. Now, is all that accurate? Because it is Wikipedia. They are what they are. So,
That's totally accurate. Yep,
okay.
that's it.
Wow.
She was well loved. I mean, people came from all over the world to see her and just be in her presence. She was considered a holy woman.
Okay.
I like it.
You talked about meth. I like talking to people about their meth experiences. So have you ever heard of Jerry Marzinski?
No.
Okay. He's a clinical psychologist. And he spent like 40 years in a really big state prison. And he started picking out patterns of crazy people.
You're making me work, Cody.
Like patterns, right? And he figured out that they were demons, right? They're just demon possessed.
Yep.
Do what?
I'm complaining. I'm saying you're making me work, Cody.
I don't know what you said, Gary.
Making
Check,
it work.
check. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
So
here's his book,
anyways,
by the way. Cody, if you'll give me a second, I'll read his book really quick. He wrote this
Yeah, go ahead.
book. It's The Amazing Journey into the Psychotic Mind, Breaking the Spell of the Ivory Tower. Psychiatry maintains the voice of schizophrenics here are meaningless auditory hallucinations caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain. Clinical investigation into the matter reveals this to be a false claim. So he basically says schizophrenics and the demonic are interconnected.
He is correct, 100%.
Yeah.
So, but he talks about how the voices that people hear on meth and schizophrenic people hear are like one and the same. I know it's all in the demonic realm. That's obvious, but like the meth experience is very much like you said, it's like a conduit for demons. It's like schizophrenia is like when you listen to the voices over and over and like you do what they say and blah, 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 and you end up in the worst position possible and meth takes you right to it.
You can burn meth, okay? You set it on fire and let the smoke rise up in the air, and the smoke will form the shape of monsters like that you can't.
Really?
Oh yeah, you can't even deny it. Like it'll rise up and it'll just sort of float around and then it forms into something with a face and the whole bit, like a monster. Oh yeah.
Crazy. I didn't know that. Did you ever see shadow people?
Yes.
Okay. Like on the meth?
Yes, actually. Not always on the meth. I've seen them other times too, but yes, I saw a lot of things when I was on meth, definitely.
Yeah. Did your witchcraft days, did that coincide with the meth?
No.
No? Okay.
I was on psychedelics then. I did mushrooms, Peruvian torch cactus, Salvia divinorum, many of them. What
Okay.
what they call the plant medicines.
Yeah. I grew
They're
mushrooms for
they're
a
not
while.
medicines. They're actually demonic substances, is what they are.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, can you tell us about your rock bottom? Like, what brought you out of the witchcraft and what made you return to Christ?
So my wife left. She was my second wife. We were married 10 years. And when she left, it crushed me in a way I cannot even describe to you. To this day, I mean, she's been gone 10 years. There's still days when I have a hard day over that. And at my rock bottom, I was living in another house that I rented from a guy. He actually paid me $2,000 to get out of it, to get rid of me. At my worst, that's when I started doing meth, actually, after she left. Wasn't doing any shamanism or anything then. I was finished with that. But I was, you'd find me 3 o'clock in the morning, laying on the floor, pounding my fists, cursing and swearing at God, yelling at him, saying the worst things you could imagine to God. And yeah, it was really bad. And then I ended up in this house. By his grace, he guided me here, and I ended up here. And the guy that owned the house this isn't my house, like it's my friend's. And shortly after I moved in, his father died and he moved out. So I ended up here by myself, which the Lord arranged the whole thing. I mean, I'm not saying he killed his father, but he arranged for him to move out and go move with his mother. So I'd be here alone. And that's how the Lord brought me back to him, right? Because he has a purpose for me. He needed to snap me out of it. It was actually the Lord who broke my marriage apart. I know the Lord is the one who did it.
Can you tell us why you feel that way?
I guess mostly because he does it to all of us. He'll let us marry somebody that's wrong for us, and then he smashes it apart. And it's all part of our learning, right? It's part of getting us ready for our purpose. There's something about heartbreak that builds character. So he makes us all go through extreme heartbreak to the point that we almost, we try to end our lives and everything, most of us. But he brings us out of it. He saves us. And then we're tougher and more resilient and wiser and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Every anointed person I know has been through something very similar. They've been through extreme broken heart territory.
So while you've been doing these interviews, have you had any evil people jump in and tell you you're wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, are there any particular ones you want to talk about?
No, I don't want to give any power to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'd rather just leave that one out. But there was a couple sent to sabotage me.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Like
Was it
some
from the
kind of
CIA?
But as soon as you get close to the Lord, spiritual attacks will just keep coming, right? The closer you are to God, the more they're going to attack you. And as soon as you get to the point where he's putting you in your purpose and he's starting to use you the way he's using me now, I mean, those videos that I've been making, I hit record and the Lord speaks through me in a lot of those. I'm not even coming up with those words. He literally speaks through me. So as soon as you start doing that and you get this really close connection with him, the dark kingdom, they know what's going on. And that's the last thing they want is an anointed person getting to their purpose.
They don't want you being the
We
light
become
in their
dangerous,
darkness.
right? We're very dangerous to them at that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What do you think about cleansing houses? Have you ever had any thoughts on that?
Yes, I did it once.
Yeah, did it work?
Yes. So I knew it was a demonic issue. They had a daughter. She was 3.5, I think, 3.5 years old. She had every medical issue known to man. She was mentally stunted, like she was 3.5 years old with the brain of a 6-month-old, basically. Physically disabled in every way possible. She couldn't even sit up. It was a disaster. She was like, it was absolutely terrible. So it turned out that they'd had a witch living with them, and they figured the witch had done something in the house that had caused all of these problems, right? And
Hmm.
all ailments have a spiritual root. Everything that's wrong with a person, no matter what it is, it has a spiritual root. There's a demonic reason for it. Like you were just
Agreed.
saying, schizophrenia and stuff, demonic. There's no chemical imbalance. There's none of that. It's totally a spiritual root. So they contacted me. They found me on Facebook, and that's when I was a shaman. Asked me if I could remove evil entities from the house. I said, yeah, I can try. Never did it before, but I'm a shaman. I should be able to handle that. So I went out with my rain stick and some spiritual music, and they said, it's in the basement. We know it's down there. I said, okay, so I'll work from the basement. So I went down and did my thing, did a ritual, did a ceremony, cast the demons out, whatever was down there. And I felt pretty confident that I had gotten rid of it. I felt it leave. So I went upstairs, and the woman of the house, she was just freaking out. She was jumping up and down and laughing and so happy. She's like, "You got rid of it. You got rid of it." I said, "How do you know?" And then the guy looks at me, goes, "It came right up through the floor. Came right, this big black thing came right up through the floor and exited right out the roof." I'm like, wow, I didn't
Whew.
even see that, but they both saw it. So whatever I did was effective, and I booted its ass out and it left.
Heck yeah. Praise the
Huh.
Lord.
So
So if people want to contact you, where do they go? They just go to your channel and
yeah, go to my channel. Now, if anybody wants to contact me, I'm so backed up. I'm going to take me a month to get through what's already there. So
wow.
if anybody
Got to start
contacts,
charging more.
well, I don't charge anything. So
Well,
that,
there's
yeah,
your problem right there.
that would
Start
probably
charging
slow it down.
people.
But I work for the Lord, and the Lord looks after me, so I don't need people to pay me. That's not the way it works.
Thanks.
This,
Amazing.
for your viewers, this is something they can use as a rule. If somebody is doing something spiritual for you and charging you money, run the other way because they're fake.
Yeah.
Fake. That's not a real man of God at all, right?
Fair enough.
Real man of God, the Lord takes care of him, not the people that he's helping.
Amen.
Imagine Jesus going around and saying, "Yeah, I'll cast that demon out for $20."
$20.
Well, if you are so inclined, Mr. Buzz has a YouTube channel, Mr. Buzz's Man Cave. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. He's got some content on there, and we've barely touched the surface on the widespread range of topics he talks about. So,
I would like to point one thing out about the title of my channel.
yes.
That's an old title that YouTube won't let me get rid of because I don't have a demon phone. So without two-step verification, I'm not even allowed to change the name of my channel. So as soon as I find a way to change it, it's going to be Journey of the Anointed is going to be the name of it.
I like that.
Well, there you go. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not really a man cave. I used to do a lot of videos for men that were lonely and got divorced and needed a place where they belonged and felt included and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
what it originally was, and I'm just stuck with the name now. So I don't want anybody to think it's just for men. It is. I've got just as many female viewers as I do males, actually.
Wow.
Excellent. Well, Mr. Buzz, we really appreciate you coming on here and giving us your time. It's been awesome. We
Thank
are
you.
going
Not a problem
to move on to talk about Charlie Kirk. You're welcome to stay if you'd like, and you know, but we've already taken up your hour. So if you need to leave, we completely understand. So it's just up to you. But you're more than
If I
welcome to
can
stay.
I can stay for another 10 minutes or so, if that's okay.
That would be fantastic. So, okay, so we're going to wrap up part 1 here. We're not going anywhere. This is just part 1. We're going to move on to part 2. So, if you're watching this on the live stream, stay with us. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm going to move
Thank you.
on. Oh, yeah, so everybody say thank you. We'll see you next time. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.